think we gave it enough time. We'll just go ahead and get started. Everyone, thank you for joining us for episode 9, I believe, of Coffee Corner, where we're going to go ahead and interview the TerraTritium team, a couple members for them. Cristian, who I believe is the CEO of the project. Um, we have Vegas
Yeah,
here with us, as well as Andre down in the audience, who is one of the team's developers. For anyone that's not aware, actually, Cristian, I'll let you go ahead and do it. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and the project?
sure. Thank you, Glenn. Thank you for the space here. Thank you, everybody, to let us explain a little more about our project here. I'm the leader and working together with, I keep a team with 13 members. So it's quite huge for a project inside the Loon blockchain. The idea of the TerraTritium is it's a game, a strategy game that how can explain to be able to try to move inside the universe, try to explore the universe, the planets, and try to explore and mining research to be able to create a huge civilization. So the idea of the project of this game is like a strategy game of battles and aliens. So every kind of steps that we have in a strategy game, we are trying to include in this our project to have fun to your people, your friends, and the idea of this project beginning I don't know 5 years ago, playing in other games, in other strategy games. Everybody in the team it's a player of the games, so we try to join all the experience that we have of playing video games, playing in PC, in computers, and try to create our own game here. So I don't know if everybody already see some pics of the game. The idea is you are a colonizer. You begin in a spaceship, so you enter in a planet, starting in an unexplored planet, build a colonization with some research at the beginning. Then we'll have to explore this planet and try to create an army to protect yourself and explore another planets with another players and be a huge um, how can I say we have a interaction between all the players. The idea of this game we have like a 5,000 players working together and playing together and exploring the universe. So once you starting to play this game, you see the how huge is this the universe of TerraTritium, and this is quite fun because I've never seen this before in any players in any games that you have already played. So I would like to present to you when you start to play and see how can be this how can change the way you understand a strategy game because usually you have a limited space to work and to explore in a video game. In here, using the Web 3.0 and using the blockchain, the technology that we have, we can the space is unlimited. So it, it's quite interesting to work in this project. I don't know, Vegas, if you want to say something about highlights
Yeah.
what you see about the project.
So, hi everyone. First of all, Glenn, thank you for having us here, mate. It's always a pleasure to be in your spaces. Um, and Cristian, I think you already explained the game very well. Yes, it's a massive strategy game. Uh, is slightly different, slightly no, a lot different from the normal typical strategy game. Not just because it's a huge, like Cristian was just saying, that each server will be able to have 5,000 users. The universe that they will be playing is massive, so it will allow for numerous actions to happen on the game. It's a space team game, like Cristian is explaining. But I think the our big thing that it will be different from other types of games is the ability of the connection with the blockchain itself. One of the things is that the idea is that the game will be for everyone. So we'll have a token on the game, and that token is going to be constructed on Luna Classic blockchain. So it's not a token from outside; it's a token on the chain itself. But one little thing that we didn't speak yet, but is very important, and is basically the mechanics of the whole game, is the ability of mining the token. So imagine a normal user that wants to be part of this, wants to play, but doesn't want to invest huge amounts of money. He can just be playing the game, just mining the game. What this means is that you can pick up your spaceship and trying to find the place that will be the next block that will have the tokens to be mined, and in the end of the block that funds are going to be that funds are going to be for this user. The ability of creating alliances inside of the game will be absolutely important as well, because it will allow for small players to share parts of the profits of this mining of this mining pools, let's call it like this. So we are trying to bring the connection of a mining pool of that of what we normally see on proof of work games, but in this case being a proof of playing, a proof of gaming in this case. So I think just for that is very unique. The rewards are going to be very good. I believe that the community will love the idea of the mining. And you could be just asking yourself, okay, but if he's mining, is going to be an inflationary coin? Not really, because the token itself is going to be used on the game. So yes, people can just hold it, speculating on the price and using as a trading token. But at the same time, the token has the utility in game as well, and that utility is being used on the game. As is being used on the game, a big part is burned directly. The rest goes to a maintenance, but the majority goes to be burned, so making the token itself highly deflationary. So yeah, I believe that that alone marks the difference of what we are doing here. Plus, I don't know if Cristian touched on this point, but we'll have a collection of the NFTs as well. And NFTs, again, the art is absolutely amazing, but more than that, the NFTs, they have a utility on the game as well. So
yeah, good point, Vegas, about these NFTs that we are using in the game, because we saw a lot of collections, a sort of pictures to be selling in several platforms. But the idea of our NFTs is not just the pick that you can buy and try to stake and have some rewards here. The idea of the NFTs in our game, it's like a card that you have actually you have some different in the game. So once you buy, for example, the colonizer, you have a game mode specific for who wants this NFT. So anybody else won't be able to activate this part of the game, only who have the NFT. And this is quite a different from the other games we have.
Well,
that's
that
it.
was a lot of information. So quick recap for everyone who's been joining us as we go, and just a quick shout out. If you guys want to give us a like and retweet, that'll definitely help the audience get in here so they can hear about TerraTritium and what they're building on chain. Um, So, TerraTritium strategy game. It looks kind of close to what's that game? Is it called Starfield? Something of that sort? I forget. Um, you said it had like planetary civilization building aspects to it, with its own in-game economy, with a token that you can mine in game, as well as NFTs that will grant different game features and gameplay styles to the users. Very interesting. Um, for also anyone who hasn't been following this project, I did go ahead and share one of their tweets up in the bird's nest. So you can go ahead and find their Twitter profile and keep up to date with all the announcements they have leading up to the release. So I'm looking at your road. Go ahead, Christian.
Yeah. No, so just saying we are waiting this space in your space here to announce that we are release the NFTs collection tomorrow morning in I think 8 a.m. UST. So tomorrow you can be able to buy the NFTs. It's the first collection that we have that calls Origins. It's quite limited. So if you want to be part of the founders of the game and have these special NFTs, you'll be able in Miata site tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay,
Thank you,
so you
Clem.
guys are releasing your first NFT line, Origins. I'm looking at your roadmap right now, actually, and it says that wasn't supposed to be done till Q3, so you're actually ahead of schedule, which is awesome. I'm sure people enjoy that. Um, you said they were going to be limited, so that leads me to ask two questions. One, do you have a like exact number on total minted supply? And then what's the price range that users could be expected to see tomorrow morning if they navigate to Miata?
Yeah, the idea was to release this in Q3 in 1st of July, but Miata team could speed up the upload of the files and say, oh, you can, if you want, we can release 1 week earlier. And once we have this space call here, I say, okay, let's do it. So we can release tomorrow and use your space call to announce this. So that's why it's quite a 1 week earlier of the roadmap. Um, um, Regarding the quantity of the NFTs, we have two different kinds of cards of these NFTs. One is the colonizer that we already explained. That once you have the colonizer, we have the common one, the uncommon, the hairy, and the common one will release the game modes, the colonizer game modes. It's a specific game mode that we have some factors here in the game. The uncommon and the hairy one, we have besides the colonizer game mode, we have a special for a special spaceship that we have in the game. You have a speed up of the velocity of the speed of this spaceship. So once you have this NFT, you have that difference having this NFT using a specific spaceship. The other card that we have is regarding how can I say assets inside the game. So once you buy these assets, you can receive three kinds of assets. The founder ones, it's a special asset that will be in the planet. Once you colonize a planet, you have this NFT, and it's quite limited. We have just 100 NFTs of these ones. You have a second founder asset. We have with some movements with a Android and a movement inside these founded assets. We have 150, I think. And the third one, it's the special one. It's called origin key. This origin key is a special one because once you have these origin keys and combining with the another key from the other collection, will be unblocked and release a zone inside the universe of the TerraTritium with some special factors, special challenges, that only who have these 2 keys or 3 keys of the collections be able to access. So a part of the game only be able to be accessed with this NFT. So this is a special one. The origin keys, we have just 100. So quite few people will be able to access this part of the game. And the colonizer, we have, I think, 2,000 NFTs of the colonizer.
Okay.
So only who have the NFT of the colonizer can be able to access the colonizer game.
Well, everyone here in the audience tonight, and anyone who goes back and listens to us, definitely just got the alpha scoop on your NFT launch tomorrow morning. Okay, I'll definitely be checking those out. I've been waiting for these. Full disclosure.
I just want to add that part of the revenue is going to be burned. There's a big part. I don't know exactly the percentages, but yeah, and on the future token as well. The revenues, if I'm not mistaken, half will be burned off long. So yeah.
Yeah. In the end, it will be almost half of the tokens will be burned.
Okay. I'm. Go ahead, Cristian.
I remember you mentioned that once you have an NFT, and for example, if you have the origin key, that's a special one, you can borrow, you can rent this key for another player who wants to play this part of the game. So once you have it, it's an asset that you have royalty and you have receipt of this. So once you have it, try to not sell it. Keep it with you because you can. It's quite unique.
So it'll have a type of scholarship function to it. So that specific game mode, you'll be able to essentially rent it out to scholars. And I say that because that's what it's been called in other Web3 games, when you're able to, rent out your assets to other players or allow them to play through your account or whatever. Okay, that's really cool. So you've built some real functionality into these NFT lens. No, that's awesome. And I'm glad a lot of people were able to hear that a percentage of your NFT sales and then as well as a percentage of revenue from token sales or perhaps even trading will go towards burning. I like seeing that from a lot of projects, regardless of the percentage, big or small, because it really depends on the business model, of course, with where that percentage can be and, of course, adoption. But just doing it even as a signal of support for burn mechanisms is always good to see coming from projects building on chain. Since Vegas, you touched on tokens, I guess it would be nice to delve into that just a tidbit more. You say that there's a mining mechanism, and I assume I guess this is also going into gameplay a little bit. What is that? Do you mean actually mining asteroids in game, or?
That's exactly, yeah. So I don't know how you got that special info, but that's exactly what we are working. And when I say we, is Andy, that's an amazing dev that is working on this side of the project. But the idea is exactly that. So imagine you are lonely in your spaceship, and you are just in this solar system on the universe made of 10,000 solar systems, and you just go around and try to find the asteroids that have a mining rewards. So the idea is that then you arrive to that asteroid and you start how do you call it, farming the trait, to mining the trait. The funny part here is that as soon as you find that asteroid, everyone else will know that the asteroid is being mined, so they will know that it's tritium there. Then you have a problem. The problem is that then you have to defend that tritium for as long as the block is holding. And that's where the alliances are going to work very well as well. So you and your friends can defend one asteroid to then to share the rewards with your friends. But in reality, yes, it's really a token that you are mining, and yes, you're going to have a reward that you'll have real value. So yeah, not just inside but outside as well. We have plans, and to be fair, I can just let you know firsthand that the plans are working very well to list the token outside as well. Yeah, everything is really aligned. This is a big team, very, very, very well organized, and everyone is doing their roles very, very well. So, like you just saw now with the NFTs, we are in front of the schedule. Not that will happen every time, but it's a good sign as well to show how the team is working on this project. But yeah, I'm really excited to form that part of the game of the mining. I believe that the community will love to be part of this, of defending something and having their own alliances, you know. And I'm almost sure that I'm already guessing a couple of names of alliances out there. So yeah, will be fun to see what's
Yeah,
happened there.
yeah, that all
So
sounds
Yeah.
very very awesome. You went a little you released a little bit more a little bit more of information about gameplay, and that was just a good guess, by the way. I hadn't heard that you would actually be mining asteroids. I'm a nerd. I game enough. I guess I it was just a good guess. Um, okay, cool. So you also touched on that there will be a combat mechanic in game as well, which is awesome. I like how you spoke on when you find an asteroid, it alerts the rest of the player base to the asteroid's existence, and then they can all come in and kind of fight over it. And then if your alliance is strong enough or not, whatever in-game alliance you've been capable of building, then you know you'll be able to defend it or not. That's really cool. I like that. I like that. Um,
Uh,
that's
and,
real, yeah.
and the part of the battle is quite interesting because once you start a battle with your opponents, you have to choose how you organize your army. So we study a lot of army strategies with the position of the how you manage the position of your army when you are defending and when we are attacking. So it's quite interesting to how the player you prepare the army to attack and to defend. So the idea is quite always looking for the strategy. So who have the best strategy can defeat a bigger army. So
really
it's
cool.
quite
Okay,
interesting.
so will you?
And just to add one thing, Glenn, sorry to interrupt you again. Is not just one asteroid in one solar system that this will happen. It's going to be various numbers of solar systems that might or not have the mining rewards, and block after block, this will change randomly. So it's always a possibility for the users to have that chance as well.
Very interesting. So it's randomized. It's spread out. I like it. I like it a lot. And then Christian, you touched on being able to build up your forces. So that's leading me to, and you did touch on like civilization building earlier. So are you going to be capable of not just, I assume you have a spaceship in this game because it is a space game. So you won't have
Mhm.
just your own spaceship, but you'll be able to build up a fleet of cruisers and battleships and destroyers and what have you.
Exactly. We have two kinds of battle. We have the on-planet battle and the space battle. So once you have an army in a planet, you can try to defeat and defend your planet using all the arms that you have, all the spaceships and the army on the in the terrain that we have. But once you are in the space, searching for another planet or searching for the asteroid, you can reach another spaceship and starting a new battle. So you have to build as much as you can spaceships to defend and to attack and to protect yourself.
The
It's quite a
the more
dynamic.
you speak on the gameplay, the more interested I become because you just gave a little bit more information. So there will be an on-planet aspect to the game. So you're not just in space all the time, but you will be able to go on to the surface. Maybe not, maybe with just an omniscient view, an overview, but there will be planetary armies and nation building past just, looking down on the planet from space. Interesting.
Yeah, we don't have. It's not quite you see the army moving because it's
Mm-hmm.
more a strategy game
Mm-hmm.
with the cards and the scores. But we have all the strategy, the position that we have. So we have the same strategy that we have, for example, the U.S. Army. We read some books about army position strategy. So we are using a real position, a real strategies of in the game. So it's quite interesting how you can defend a specific position when you're arming on the opponent. It's for example using the column, just like the Romans used to choose two columns to attack the opposite. So how you can protect yourself when the opposite is in this kind of position. So it's quite very interesting to understand and how the players will play this kind of game.
Okay. Okay. So is the whole is obviously the center of the game is finding asteroids and mining them. What other aspects are like what type of in-game economy might there be? Are you going to have player to player marketplaces where they can trade in-game assets or is it okay.
Yeah, we have three miners and three research that you are using. You have the energy that you need to build some solar plates to capitalize the energy to have the power in your system. And we have the crystal and we have the uranium. Using these three minerals, you build your buildings and your army and try to reach the space and find the tritium. That is the hard mineral that you need to use to buy another spaceships, special armies, special guns to defend yourself and to attack the opponents. So, yeah, the tritium is the main research that we are looking for. But inside the planet, we have another research and another minerals that we need to mining to be able to build your ecosystem,
Okay.
your
And
planet.
will tritium be the main in-game currency? Is that what you're going to spend in marketplaces? And then I'm going to assume it is it also what's
Exactly.
used when you you have a research facility and you want to upgrade it? Are you spending tritium to be able to upgrade your in-game assets?
Depends of in the beginning of the game, you're using usually what we have in the planet, but once you reach the a specific upgrade level, you need to reach you need to have some tritium, for example, to be able to go to another level. So in this case, you need to go to another planet or go to an asteroid to reach the tritium to be able to increase your planet. So in the beginning, of course, it's quite simple. You are in your planet. In this planet, we have other research you need to build the first buildings and starting to playing the game, understand how is the mechanic of the game. But in the middle of the game, you need to create a spaceship, try to find out another planets to another researches because, for example, a planet always have a crystal or uranium. Never be have the two of them. So for some specific buildings, you need to go to another planet and mining this another mineral to be able to create another building. So it's quite
So
interesting.
it's very, very interesting. I just want to add as well that other aspects of the game for more competitive people regarding high score and the best alliances and even a championship of alliances. Uh, all of this is on top of the table, and the idea, for example, will be the best high score on this server will receive an X amount of tritium as well. So and the games of alliances. So the best alliance of the on this battle, whatever it will be, then receive as well some tritium and rewards. So it's a lot of gameplay, not just the mining of the asteroids. Of course, that is a massive part of the game, and I believe that alone is something that makes us special. But yeah, we have a lot more than that. One more thing that I want to add is that a lot of things that we are just talking here are not just concepts; they are already. Let's put it this way: the game can be played now. So I realize that a lot of people were talking about that the game. Okay, the game is just a concept. Is nothing there. I can tell you firsthand that from what I can see that on the steps that we are very advanced. The animations are very good. Even inside of the planet. Um, yes, is a style of browser, but the animations are very special. We are very lucky to have the illustrators that we have working with us. So yeah, it's not just a concept. The game is already a game, and very soon we will see a demo as well of the gameplay.
Yeah, good point. Because usually we just release some pictures and some movies or some videos of the game as a concept, but we are trying to always show the real thing. So the video that we released, I think last week, is a video of the game working as the game. So it's a real one. The parts of the single player, as I said, without the battle, it's already almost 100% finalized. So we are, of course, we are testing, find some bugs, but almost finalized. And we are working now the part of the aliens, the battles, and the mining. So of course, we have a lot of work to do, but the idea is to have the complete game finalized in October. Then we try to have some special guests to try the game, see what they found, if what they look like, if they enjoy or not, to release officially the game in the first week or first 2 weeks of the 2024 in the
Okay.
next year.
Okay.
But yeah,
So a demo or beta release in Q4. I think you said October, correct? And then full release in 2024. Q1. I see on
yeah,
your roadmap. No, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah.
we are trying to not to delay any of the milestones. Of course, everything can happen, especially in the internet, in the blockchain. We now have some, for example, we had the upgrade of the Luna Classic here this in this month, so we have to adjust something inside the system. But we are trying to reach all the milestones in these days. So we are working on that. This is
Okay.
the idea.
So I I'm seeing um pre-sales for the Tritium token, and that makes me want to ask about like distribution when that time comes for the token. So two questions, I guess, and maybe I guess really just one larger question. What percentage of supply will go to pre-sale, and then after the pre-sale, will Tritium only be available for like unless you of course trade it on a decentralized exchange? will you only be able to acquire or mine more tritium through the game itself?
Go ahead, Vegas. It's your part.
I was just trying to find the numbers, the exact numbers. Okay, so don't quote me exactly on the numbers. But yeah, so the price sale, if I'm not forgotten, is around 20%. Christian, is it
Yeah,
right?
I have 20% in my mind,
That's
but
it.
it could
Okay,
be this. Yeah.
so sorry, I was just trying to find the scroll, but yeah. So the idea is to, like you said, yeah. So 20% will be into for pre-sales, but will be in stages. So we'll have three stages of pre-sale of the token itself. After that, we will have the ability of the normal sales that will be buying in game. Thank you, Andrew. Uh, and and s- yes, we will have the ability of buying in game. Uh, we will have the ability of decentralization, of course, of dexes, of buying and selling the token in the future. From day one, we will have the ability of selling and buying the token in the sexes. How will that work? We're still trying to find the best way to maintain the basically to find the best way to maintain the price stable on from the sexes to the inside of the game. We are creating a mechanism that will make slightly more difficult the arbitrage trading. To be fair to everyone. Um, but yeah, so the ability of buying in game, that's our goal, is for people to buy in the game itself. And on that we can control. So imagine that you pick up 100 lunks, yeah, and the idea is that you will pay in lunks. From that 100 lunks, 50 lunks, so half of that amount will be burned, and the rest will go for maintenance costs of the project itself. But the half of that goes to burn, and then you receive your tritium, of course. Then if you keep your tritium, it's up to you. If you use your tritium in game, the numbers that we have at the moment of the token itself is that if you use your tritium, then 70% of that value goes to burn as well. So we are talking about a very, very huge possibility of being a massive deflationary coin, in this case a token. And yeah, that's the whole idea. Even that
Yeah.
we have mining happening there, the mining yeah, is going to still, with the tokenomics that we have, is still the tending to be a deflationary coin and a big percentage. So yeah.
And I confirm it here is 20% in the pre-sales, and the regular sales will be 48%. So that's
Yep.
it.
Okay, so you'll have 20% for pre-sale, 48% of supply for sale through the platform. I'm guessing since it's an in-game token, you'll be able to buy it much along the lines as you're able to buy other in-game tokens for Call of Duty or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
Exactly. So the idea of the players, the gamers here, you can use the tritium. You can keep your tritium and try to see if you increase the value of them. You can do an alliance and say, okay, this part of the team will be just the minings. This part will be the defense ones, and this part will build the army and attack another planet. So the idea you can play with several strategies, not just the strategy of the to try to fight to everybody or try just to defend yourself. You can use your army your buildings, your player as you want. Maybe you can just, I want just to mine tritium and keep this tritium to have the most, if I can, and provide the tritium to our team, to my team. I don't know. So you have several strategies that you can use in the game. This is the
Okay.
idea.
Since there will be like a PvP aspect where you're able to attack other players, or defend yourself against other players, is there going to be like a piracy mechanism in the game? Like if that player holds tritium and you attack that player and defeat them, are you going to get a share of their? Are they going to leave a tritium drop, in their wreckage or something that you can then pick up?
Tritium, we have the pirate ones once it's mining during the mining, but the idea of the pirates to if a pirate attack to you or other team or other alliance attack to you, the idea is just to take your research, but not the tritium. The tritium
Okay.
it's
Okay.
yours.
Um, I guess. What was my other question? It escapes me. Um,
Right.
okay, so no piracy aspect. I had one more question for you, but it escapes me.
Yeah, this is a good question because we discuss a lot of this kind of part of the game. If the pirates ones and then other teams can steal your tritiums, but once the tritium have a real value in the real world, because we have the tokens, the NFTs, so we prefer to keep the tritium outside the pirates involved, in part of this part of the game to store in. So the pirates ones and the other teams can store all the research you have, the uranium, the crystals, even the energy,
I
but
mean,
not the
that
tritium.
seems actually like a good choice because I could see it actually becoming a problem in game where people do nothing but go around and attack lower level players, stealing their tritium, cashing out, and repeat.
Exactly.
So though it would be cool to see tritium drops in a ship's wreckage after you destroy them, I do completely understand and even agree with leaving that out because that can become very predatory very quickly. Um, okay,
But this is just happen after you finish the mining. But once we have the treasure hunting, when you some player found out the tritium in an asteroid is starting to mining. Once you are mining during this period, everybody can attack to you, destroy you, and take your place. So in this part of the game, you need to identify yourself to be able to receive the tritium there. So this is the fun in the game.
okay. Um, and you said 70% of assets used in game will go to burn, so 70% of the value will go to burn. I'm very
Yes,
cur I'm very curious about your tokenomics. I'd like to um, see those once they
we will release it very soon.
yeah, no.
We will
I,
release it
I
very
I
soon. But yeah, so it will make sense. But the idea that and you know my background as well. I'm not a big fan of inflationary coins. So the idea is that day one is the day that we'll have more coins in the max supply, and then it just comes down. And the number of 70% it seems huge, and in the reality is, and it was a team decision to do these values, um, and it makes sense. It will make sense when we release the full tokenomics of the token itself. Even the total supply will not be huge, so it will be funny to see how it plays out after 1 year of release because it might be a really good surprise.
And I think this is the difference of our team here because all of us have some specialty. So Vegas, everybody in the community, of the Loom community knows Vegas. So you're using this knowledge to bring the most important value to the community. So I am project manager, so I work in big companies, and we have the specific developers that working within blockchain and looking at several years. We have the animators and the designers that work in TV, in broadcast, in special TV. So everybody in the team is it's quite professional, and we are trying to really create a professional game here.
No, it definitely seems like it from what we've seen from you so far. Your website is wonderful. It's very clean, very concise. And the article that Vegas shared with me earlier today was well put together as well. Yeah, I just mentioned the tokenomics because I've been in a few games. It's just always very interesting to see how they envision the path for them to create a sustainable in-game economy. Uh, it was definitely one of the questions I had for Metagloria when we had them speaking. Well, not us, but it was in a different space like a year ago about their tokenomics. Uh, so that'll definitely be cool to see once it's released. Go ahead, Christian.
No, yeah, as you mentioned, the MetaGlory, the idea is just to bring usability to the community. We saw several fights inside the community saying, "Yo, this is a scam, or this is not go working, it's not go fine." But the idea is, I think everybody wants to see Loom great again. So we are just a small group here working, trying to create a good game, a good time to spend, but everybody here is professional, is trying to be our best here. And we have several projects working that we are seeing that is fantastic. Metaglory, it's one. We have Garuda. We have another ones that it's creating. And see, this is fantastic for the community, right? And everybody here is in the same boat. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing to. I just recently saw a game as well that is about to be developed on Luna Classic as well, and it's good to be influencing people to do this, so to bring more utility to the chain. And on our case specifically, we are helping by constructing on the chain, and by burning directly Lunk by the process of the token itself. Um, Regarding the game, I think Christian is being a little modest here. The game is absolutely massive, and it's funny enough that the tokenomics they seem okay. Burning 70%, it seems a lot, and it is a lot. But even that, yeah, it will allow us to start if things go on the direction that we hope that it will allow us to start working on the future projects connected to this one. So the goal of this one is to have a couple of servers uh, with this game, of course. And if things go well, then the idea will be to have more games around the chain itself. But yeah.
Okay. Okay. K Rocks, do you have any questions keyed up for our speakers here?
No, I do not. I am about to put my kids to bed.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Okay. Hmm. Well, I can't think of any more questions off the top of my head. You've gone over so much information. If anyone in the audience has any questions or any of our listeners, then I know we had one earlier, but it looks like he went ahead and left. If you have a question, go ahead and raise your hand. Then we'll get you up here and get you to ask you your question. Um, hmm. You it definitely as I've been saying when I've introduced people to this project, because I've floated it the last day or so, it definitely does seem like a step above a lot of the other things we've seen in the community, and that's not to put down the other projects we see building, because the other projects are certainly one thing I really love about Luna Classic, with how what we see going on definitely is organic growth coming out of community members that, like you said, Christian, that just want to see Luna Classic be a thriving ecosystem again, as opposed to a lot of what we see on other chains, where you see projects come in with large, you know, investments from private investors, or are already well established in the space, releasing more content. So I absolutely love it. I'm super excited for what you guys are doing here and for the gameplay. I love space games and I love strategy games. So this really hits the nail on the head for me. Um,
Great. I hope you enjoy too.
yeah.
We are trying our best.
No, it looks really good, and that gameplay video. Oh, for anyone listening or anyone that goes back and listens, I did share that gameplay video in the Bird's Nest for you guys to go ahead and take a look, and be sure to give TerraTritium a follow on their official account, and then our speakers here today. Um, hmm. Yeah, I really don't have any more questions for you guys. Is there anything else that you guys would like to touch on or go over, Vegas? Because I know we touched on your NFT sales tomorrow. We touched on a lot of aspects of the gameplay, a little bit of the tokenomics. Is there anything else you want to touch on?
I think at this moment, I think we are talked about that. Like I was saying to you, we want to do a giveaway. I don't know how that will work, but I think Christian will find some way of doing this giveaway of the NFT. Like we said, the NFT is more than a piece of art. Is something that will have a utility on the game. Um, uh, and yeah, tomorrow we have our first sales of NFTs to see yeah, the impact of this, and study if the community is going to embrace what the efforts that we are doing here, and hopefully everything goes well. So yeah, but at the moment, no. I think we said more or less what is this is all about. And again, this is about bringing utility to Luna Classic, and about creating a fun project that I believe that everyone is going to enjoy, and at the same time giving opportunity with or without money to to win with this. So the idea of the mining for me is just the mining itself is sells it. So
No,
yeah.
yeah, I definitely agree. And I think it will be fun. It definitely looks very promising, and I hope you do see the support you guys need to, for the project to be a success. That is definitely something that I've touched on quite a few times, speaking with community members or just tweeting my thoughts about how the individuals that choose to build on Luna Classic instead of any other Cosmos chain or any other chain in general. There's so many options, and we really need to appreciate the people that choose to build here, because it's probably the last on most developers' lists right now. And I wish that the community would kind of pull away from more of the dramatizations we see from on a day to day on Twitter, or if we're surfing the Discord servers, and give a little bit more attention to the projects and individuals putting their heart and effort into building on chain, and giving us something that we end up are actually fighting for, because people seem to forget that the L1 is just the vehicle, the mechanism we use to interact with what we hope to see as a thriving economy. and that's really why we're here, is to be able to interact with, the great project TerraTritium you're building here, and any other ecosystem advocates and participants we see moving forward. And a lot of people seem to forget that it's the layer two that truly matters. The layer one is just what allows us to interact with that layer two and all the different dApps we see building. And we definitely need to give them support because, I mean, layer twos and applications being successful on chain is a proof of concept of the chain. Without successful applications, your entire protocol is a failure, regardless of however much amount you have staked. If no one's using their LUNC or their USTC to interact with the applications on chain, then what's the point of the chain? So you'll definitely be getting some support from me. That's not an endorsement. I'm not telling anyone else to do it. That's my own personal choice. I've been waiting for you guys to release the NFTs initially for a while. Like I said, I've been following you from the get-go because Andy down in the audience, I've worked with him in the past. I guess in closing, one more question that comes to mind. Your NFT Origins collection that is releasing tomorrow, and then your demo that releases in Q4. It says exclusive next to it on your roadmap. So that leads me to ask: will the Origins NFT be what grants you access potentially to that demo?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably yes. For sure, the only who have these NFTs will be able. I think it won't be the 100% people that we have the NFTs will be able to join the demo ones. But
Okay.
for sure, and this exclusive demo part of the game, we will release only for the ones who have the
Okay.
NFTs
I
for sure.
swear no one's feeding me information. I've been around long enough. I know all the right questions to ask. Okay, so you'll pick your pool of beta testers from NFT participants, contributors, buyers. Okay, awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, this is another information that we will release soon, but let's release now.
Sorry.
No problem.
Sorry.
No, it's fine because well, you give us your space here to us to present the project, so that's why we choose you to use your space call, including to release the announcements of the NFTs, and that is no problem because next week we will do the marketing part of the NFT sales, so for sure we spread this information too, so
Awesome.
no
No,
problem
and
at all.
that's awesome that you feel that way because I just want to, like, the way I kind of view these spaces, especially when interviewing an application development team that's building on chain. I just it's yeah. I feel like people that take the time to support you by even just coming inside the space and giving a listen to what you're having to say, it's just right that they get that extra little bit of juicy information that no one who listens to this space will be able to get until it's officially released. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. If last call for anyone in the audience that might have a question, or K Rocks, I know you said you were busy with real life stuff. Yeah, or any closing thoughts from Vegas or Christian? If not, then we'll probably go ahead and wrap it up.
I just want to say thank you again, Clan, because to give us this space to be able to present the project. We are a small group. If you see the TerraTritium on Twitter, we have less than 1,000 followers. So all of them, it's organic. We didn't pay anything to anybody to bring more followers in the Twitter. So everybody that follow us is because believe in the project and probably it's a gamer. So I really thank you to help us to spread the news and spread the name.
Of course, and I'm happy to give you that chance. I know my platform isn't large. I mean, I have just over 3,000 followers, but I do these spaces and I like bringing the projects up to speak about what they're building because, it's just, I mean, it's long.
Glenn, you just cut.
Am I cut?
No,
Okay.
no, not now.
I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'm
speaking.
sorry. But I was just
It's
saying,
okay.
like you thanked me for having you up here, and I just want to thank you for even being here, to have you up here. And I really hope that the community can tear themselves away from more of the dramatic aspects in the space and give you guys the support you deserve.
I think the community is starting to understand that they have to support the ones that are supporting back. That was my flag since day one, without entering too much in politics. But I think the cycles are the endless cycles of dramas and all of that stuff. People are start seeing what is happening. So I believe that we are on the right track at the moment. I believe that instead of trying to fight each other with the factions and all of these things, we can just work together and make Luna Classic move into the place that it should be in the first place. So yeah, I think we are about to have a change of cycle, because everyone got very nervous. Everyone got let's put it this way: is a chain with a lot of potential, and that's why there's a lot of fights there, and maybe something behind as well. At the same time, fighting for us to not get bigger and bigger. But I believe that if we have the good work being done by any L1 team, just maintaining it, maintaining infrastructure by L2 teams, and all of the projects like the ones that we are doing here, being supported by the community as one, we have no way to fail. This is just my
And
personal
I
view.
completely agree with you. What we've seen over the last year and what we see dwindling today is just a natural evolution of what one can expect to happen after the DPEG events and TFL's abandonment of the chain. I've always equated it to what you could expect to see if a state and its government were to just pick up and vanish overnight. You'd see a lot of rioting, a lot of internal strife and battle between different factions that you see form, because that really is what Luna Classic is, and that's what every blockchain is. It's essentially a sovereign state with its own economy, and this one was left in shambles, and we all tried to pick it up. So definitely not unexpected. I do love seeing that organic, natural growth that we're going through, much along the same lines of what we're seeing, with your own growth with Tritium and your follower count on Twitter, and how that's organic, which is the only truly sustainable growth that one can hope for. If you paid for a bunch of Twitter followers, then I mean they wouldn't mean anything. They wouldn't like your tweets, they wouldn't share your tweets, they wouldn't invest in your project when you had releases. They would essentially be meaningless, much along the same lines if we had massive whales and private venture capitalists come in and pump the coin up to $1. It would all be meaningless, and it all wouldn't be sustainable into the long term. So that natural growth is definitely something that is beneficial to the chain in the long term, though it definitely can get rather emotional in the short to midterm. Um, yeah, so with that, we're definitely delving more into the philosophical or political. So we're probably just going to go ahead We gave it an hour. I think it was a solid hour. We covered a lot of information. I definitely hope people go back and give this a listen. And for you guys to know, we will be porting this over to YouTube. We usually get a good few extra listeners over there, and I'll share the video with you so you can share it on your own platforms if you wish, to help and get the interview out there so people can listen to what we talked about here tonight, about TerraTritium. Definitely an awesome project. I'm really excited to see more from you guys, uh, and I wish you guys a lot of success.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, and congratulations. You are amazing conducting these spaces. Yeah, thank you so
Yes.
much.
Yes. Thank you guys for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. And once we get a little bit further down your roadmap, I hope we can do it again, and we can talk about what it is you're working on at that point in time. But with that, everybody, thank you, audience, for joining us. Anyone that goes back and listens to us on YouTube and makes it to the hour-long ending, we appreciate you. Be sure to give these guys a follow on Twitter. If you navigate to their website, which you can find on their Twitter, you can see their roadmap and everything else, and grab a link to all their different social medias. So go ahead and give these guys some support. If there's nothing else, then we're going to go ahead and close it out.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone. See ya. Thank you.